All right, ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask you all to take a seat and please put your electronic devices on silent so we can begin this? Thank you. All right. Good evening, and thank you for attending this evening's inauguration ceremonies of Malden City Government. I'm outgoing Ward 2 School Committee member, Emmanuel Marsh, and together with the outgoing Ward 3 School Committee, Larry Silverman, we will be emceeing tonight's ceremonies. This convention is now called to order.
Mr. Chairman,
The chair recognizes the city messenger, Peter Levine.
may I present the Honorable Malden City Council-elect to the convention.
Please admit the Honorable City Council-elect to the convention. The chair recognizes the city messenger. Please admit the Honorable School Committee-elect and the Northeast Metropolitan Regional Vocational School Committee member to the convention. The chair now recognizes City Council President Peg Crow.
May I request the chair please notify Mayor Gary Christensen that a quorum of the City Council-elect and members-elect of the school committee are present and ready to be qualified.
Mr. Levine, please inform Mayor Gary Christensen that the councilors-elect and members-elect of the school committee are present and ready to be qualified.
Mr. Chairman,
The chair recognizes the city messenger.
may I present the Mayor of Malden for the years 2016 to 2020, the Honorable Gary Christensen, former mayors, and invited guests to the convention.
Please admit the Honorable Mayor Gary Christensen and his invited guests to the convention.
To lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please welcome the Malden Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. Please welcome lifelong Malden resident Julia Hall, a sophomore at Holy Cross College, who will now sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
At this time, we would like to thank our police and fire honor guards. Would you please retire the colors? This evening's invocation will be offered by Reverend John Malloy of St. Joseph's Parish.
Gracious God, through your mysterious ways, you have gathered us here this evening, citizens of the city of Malden and officials about to begin new terms in service to all the residents. We come from different places. We come with different personalities. We come with different ideas, but we are strongly united in our desire to serve all the people of Malden. May we hear the Reverend Martin Luther King tell us in his letter from a Birmingham jail, we are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Help us then, as we begin these new terms, to always put the good of all the people of Malden before ourselves and our sometimes narrowly focused issues. Help these officials, we humbly ask, to welcome new children and immigrant families into our communities, receiving the gifts and talents they have to offer and integrating them into our community, a task which is never easy nor inexpensive. We thank you, gracious God, with heartfelt thanksgiving that these women and men have put themselves forward before the electorate and have accepted the responsibility to serve despite the challenges before them. We beg you, caring God, bestow on these women and men the gifts of patience in the face of complex issues, respect for every human being, even in the face of criticism, openness to new ideas that flow from their own creativity and from the suggestions of others, and especially the wisdom to know when to listen, when to speak, and when to act. Humbly we ask all this for Mayor Gary Christensen and these other officials as they begin new terms in service of the wonderful people of Malden, and because in God we trust. Amen.
Please be seated. May I introduce to you the Honorable Mayor Gary Christensen.
Good evening. The new year marks a time of new beginnings and, unfortunately, a new snowstorm. But nevertheless, I am pleased to be here to administer the oath of office and congratulate all of our elected officials as they begin their new term. Congratulations, everyone. The new year is also known as a time of reflection. For those who are leaving office, City Councilor David D'Angelo City Councilor Neil Kinnan, and school committee members Jerry Leone, Emmanuel Marsh, and Larry Silverman. Know that your contributions to making Malden a better place for us all are deeply appreciated. From taking time away from your families to attending the many meetings throughout our city, you have upheld the meaning behind public service, and again, we thank you for your willingness to make a difference. Finally, the new year means a time to establish new goals and resolutions. Although we come here tonight with our own individual beliefs and ideas, I know that we all share one common objective, and that is to move our city forward. Now more than ever, we must be creative, we must be resourceful, and most importantly, we must work together to provide the leadership that our community deserves. There is no doubt that that leadership will require hard work and dedication in the months and years ahead. That's not just because it is a sign of our times, but rather it's the reality of what our city has always been known for. From taking a chance to settle here in 1640 to leading the way in 1776 to become part of a free country, to now in 2018 being a welcoming home for people from all over the world, Malden has always led the way, and today it's your turn to do the same. Unfortunately, there is no phone app, database, or algorithm that can help guide us, but I am confident that if we give it our all, we can build a future that is worthy of our past. Again, congratulations and best of luck.
Carol Ann Desiderio, as the acting city clerk, would you please come forward for reading of the records declaring election of city councilors and school committee?
At the city election held on November 7th, 2017, the following were elected city councilors for the years 2018 and 2019. Ward 1, Peg Crow of 9 Hancock Street. Ward 2, Paul A. Condon of 52 Gale Street. Ward 3, John P. Matheson of 15 Bauer Street. Ward 4, Ryan J. O'Malley of 706A Main Street. Ward 5, Barbara M. Murphy of 28 Forest Street. Ward 6, David Kamel of 35 Williams Street. Ward 7, Neil Anderson of 56 Mills Street. Ward 8, J. Dean M. Sika of 12 Cleveland Street. Councilors at large are Debbie A. DiMaria of 290 Clifton Street, Craig Spatafora of 75 Elm Street, Stephen Patrick Winslow of 83 Jacob Street. The following were elected school committee members for the years 2018 and 2019. Ward 1, Michael E. Drummy of 21 Oxford Street. Ward 2, Robert S. McCarthy Jr. of 227 Emerald Street. Ward 3, Jennifer M. Spatafora of 37 Prospect Street. Ward 4, Leonard V. Iavino of 33 Spring Street. Ward 5, Tara Murphy Beardsley of 166 Bainbridge Street. Ward 6, Colleen M. Leon of 52 Reserve Street. Ward 7, Catherine Bornaro of 20 Wyeth Street. Ward 8, John H. Froyo of 38 Prentice Street.
May I have all city councilors-elect please rise? Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and will support the Constitution thereof, so help me God. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent on me as a city councilor of the city of Malden, according to the best of my ability and understanding, agreeably to the rules and regulations of the Constitution and the laws of the Commonwealth, so help me God. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, so help me God. Congratulations. Okay, you may be seated. Now I'd like to have all members-elect of the school committee stand. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and will support the Constitution thereof, so help me God. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent on me as a school committee member of the city of Malden, according to the best of my ability and understanding, agreeably to the rules and regulations of the Constitution and the laws of the Commonwealth, so help me God. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, so help me God. Congratulations.
All right, at this time, I would like to introduce the new elected officials and, I should say, just all the elected officials. First off, I'm going to start with the councilors at large. Craig Spadafora, Debbie DiMaria, Stephen Winslow. Now I'd like to introduce you the ward councilors. From Ward 1, Peg Crow. Ward 2, Paul Condon. Ward 3, John Matheson. Ward 4, Ryan O'Malley. Ward 5, Barbara Murphy. Ward 6, David Kamel. Ward 7, Neil Anderson. And Ward 8, J.D. Sika. And now from the school committee, I would like to introduce Ward 1, Michael Drummy. Ward 2, Robert McCarthy Jr. Ward 3, Jennifer Spadafora. Ward 4, Leonard Iavino. Ward 5, Tara Beardsley. Ward 6, Colleen Lease, the Northeast Regional Vocational High School Committee member, Janine M. Feely.
Before our new City Council and School Committee retire for organization, we will have a prayer and a blessing from Imam Hamid Barot of the Outreach Community and Reform Center in Malden.
And city council are both on that side. So it doesn't matter. Just give them out at once, but make sure the mayor gets the first one. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon all of you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to represent the diversity of Malden and to stand before you to perform this benediction. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful, praise be to God, the Lord of the universe, who has created us and made us into tribes and nations so that we may know each other and not despise one another. Our Lord, you are peace. For you comes peace. From you comes peace. And to you returns peace. Revive us with the salutation of peace and grant us everlasting peace. O our sustainer, grant us the life of unwavering peace and enter us into the abode of true peace. O Lord, we ask you to convey your compassion on the whole human family. Take away the controversial teaching of arrogance, divisions, and hatred which have infected our hearts. We ask you to break down the walls that separate us and reunite us in bonds of love. We ask you for assistance in working through our struggles to accomplish your purpose on earth, so that in good time all nations and all races might jointly serve you in justice, peace, and harmony. I pray that our Lord blesses our country, our people, and everybody around the world. I pray that God increases us in strength, humility, unity, love, compassion, and respect for all. O Lord, make us among those who appreciate the diversity of your creation and help us serve those in need. O Lord, forgive all our sins and shortcomings, and make us appreciate all the favors and blessings that you bestow upon us out of your mercy and grace. May the Lord protect us all and help our officials do the best job that they can do. O God, make things easier for the people in our city and our great country, and make us among the community that will stand tall and proud. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Hamid. One traditional aspect of Chinese culture is the dragon dance that symbolizes strength and good luck. It brings positive and celebratory energy to all who are present. Tonight, we are privileged to have the dragon dance performed for us by the Walloon Kung Fu and Tai Chi Academy to offer our city leaders blessings in their new roles. That's a tough act to follow. One more round of applause, please, for the Walloon Kung Fu and Tai Chi Academy. Thank you. Mr. Levine, please retire the City Council for organization and for an election of president, and the school committee for organization and election of vice chairman.
All right, I would say one more applause for this evening's events, correct? At this time, we would like to recognize the dignitaries sit with us on the stage. Please rise as we introduce you, and we would ask the audience to please hold your applause for the end. First, I would like to start by introducing our state senator, Jason Lewis. State Representative Paul Donato. State Representative Paul Broder. State Representative Steve Altrino. And Superintendent John O'Terry. Please welcome our guests and thank them for being a part of the ceremony tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, I almost, and our Honorable Mayor Edwin C. Lucy. This year, we have some new faces on our City Council and School Committee. So that you may get to know them a little bit better, we would like to introduce you to their family members who are in the audience with us tonight. Please rise as we introduce you, and we would ask the audience to please hold your applause for the end. All right. I think we got that. That's okay. You can still clap anyway. So, all right. We have the family of Counselor at Large, Stephen Winslow. We have the family of Ward 6 City Councilor, David Kamel. Please also welcome the family of Ward 2 School Committee member, Robert McCarthy Jr. The family of Ward 3 School Committee member, Jennifer Spatafora. Jen's daughter, Renee, is here for her mom tonight in spirit, if not in person, because she's serving active duty in the United States Coast Guard. We thank her and the Spatafora family for Renee's service to our country. And also, please help me welcome the family of Ward 6 School Committee member, Colleen Leon. How about a round of applause for the families of the elected officials tonight? I am thrilled to introduce, and I hope you will help me welcome, the Malden High School Choral Arts singers, led by Todd Cole, who perform for us. How about a great round of applause for our choral arts performers? Let's keep that going. How about another round of applause? We will now pause for a few minutes until the city messenger lets us know that the delegation is ready to return.
Test, test. I'm in it no matter what. Oh, okay. Test. Manual. Okay. Okay. Mr. Chairman,
The chair recognizes the city messenger.
may I present the Malden City Council, led by newly elected president for 2018, Debbie DeMaria, and the members of the Malden School Committee, led by Chair Gary Christensen and Vice Chair Lenny Iavino.
Please admit the City Council and the school committee to the convention.
I would now like to introduce to you the 2018 Malden City Councilor President, Councilor Debbie DiMaria.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. 2018. As another legislative year is upon us, I offer my personal appreciation to each and every one of you watching on Malden Access TV tonight, and every one of you that came out in this freezing cold to celebrate with us as the City of Malden has their inauguration. Thank you very much. Thank you to my family and my friends, my champions, and my fellow public servants. How beautiful is this Jenkins Auditorium? I consider my fellow counselors part of a dream team. Yes, a dream team. The experience, the education, the fellowship, the knowledge, and the broad range of political views will help continue Malden to become everything a city can be. A leader in commerce, culture, and connectivity. From the heights of the Fells to the banks of the Malden River, along the length of Route 60, Malden is in transition. You know, my 6- and 4-year-old grandchildren playing with Legos are very similar to our roles as counselors. Through their little hands, they plan, they build, move, adjust, and create what they consider to be the perfect community. While that is much smaller in scale than managing a city of 63,000 residents with a budget of $180 million plus, they are mindful, methodical, and collaborative, as we need to be. We certainly can learn from our children, right? The stakeholders are you. Each one of you is dependent on our discussions on the floor, our decisions that we make, and our votes that we take. This dream team lives that every Tuesday. Yes, you do. And as I begin, I look forward to working with the current council to reintroduce a resolution to allow for public commentary during meetings. Ideally, we could start on that by the spring. Similarly, I will be bringing back our Citizen Engagement Standing Committee. This committee shall be responsible for increasing communication with the community, engaging citizens in city government, and promoting civic initiatives. While it is the council's responsibility to make decisions about the city's rules and ordinances, we should never discount the voice of the city's stakeholders, which is you. That is why a new cannabis review committee will be formed and will include a local resident expert and a business leader. This is a new session for the council, but many of the issues that we work on are inherited, such as affordable housing, lead pipes, blue bags. We will continue to work with the city's recently formed parking department to reduce the parking and transportation issues. And while we are not the actual owners of the hospital site land, a new hospital site review committee has been formed to work with the administration to identify the best possible answer for that beautiful property. Watching our Malden High School rowing team in action is truly a reminder of the many opportunities the city can cultivate from the banks of the Malden River. The Waterfront Access Committee will be very active this year. Public safety will always be my most important concern. This includes safe and reliable transportation alternatives that will ensure Malden remain a desirable place to live and work. With our roads, our walkways, and bike paths, we can connect even further than imaginable. Did you know that on several occasions, Malden has been compared to a corporation? While that analogy is not completely out of order, it overlooks something else. Malden is where we live. It is where some of us work. It is our city, our home. People have the right to be safe. While I continue to be most grateful for and respect the efforts of our public officials, it is also important that we as a community care for one another, our seniors, our veterans, our children. We may live in uncertain times, even difficult times, but we have each other. Look to your neighbors. Help when you can. Respect one another. We are all Malden. And while this agenda is expansive, I would be remiss to not mention how important it is for me to support the ward councilors and at-large councilors as they curate their neighborhoods with their goals. To conclude, and consistent with the oath we have just taken, good government requires hard workers, individuals with good work ethics and honesty. My promise is just that. Thank you. Am I done? Thank you. Okay, so I'll just go right into Peg. Okay. Okay, so every New Year's Eve, I take out my pocket calendar and bore my husband Al to tears as I review in depth all the places we went to, the cherished memories with family and friends, and the problems that were solved. With that in mind, I want to thank Councilor Peg Crow for her quiet, even-handed guidance as she navigated our council through a year with a new city clerk, many huge expenditures, updated and new ordinances, as well as significant appointments. Last year, Peg reluctantly accepted the role of council president, despite our encouragement and support. Anyone who knows Peg knows she's a softie. It took her almost the entire year to finally growl at us for our tardiness and our sidebar comments. She is a remarkably strong and courageous woman who leads by the best example. I will have very hard shoes to fill, Madam President. I'm gonna cry. And on behalf of the entire council, we thank you so much. Councilor Peg Crow. Okay, so I give it to her? Wait.
Listen, you know I'm a crier, so that's not good.
This is yours.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I'm done.
Come on, Mariah. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. She knows I'm a crier, so this is not really a good start for me, but I appreciate that. Thank you, Debbie. Good evening, everybody. Over the past 6 years, it's been my honor to serve Ward 1 as the city councilor. And this past year, serving as council president has been a learning experience and a leadership opportunity that I truly will treasure always. I want to thank the city council for voting, giving me a vote of confidence last January that allowed me to serve as their president in a year we all felt was in transition with the retirement of our longtime city clerk. Interestingly, shortly after becoming city council president, a neighbor said to me that you'll have more name recognition. And I thought, okay, I thought they meant with the residents of Malden or my constituents, but never would I have thought is with the Secretary of State's office. This year, we saw more transitions than anyone could have anticipated, and in order to ensure that all the processes were conducted fairly and properly, and that I was able to effectively support the council, I reached out to the Secretary of State's office a few times, and oh, they knew my name all right, so I got my name recognition, that's for sure. But seriously, on the council, we grapple with issues every year. And although we may not always agree on policies or votes, I know that each and every one of these people behind you have the residents, the best interests at heart for the residents and the community as a whole. And it is those diverse opinions that shape a better Malden. I want to thank the mayor and his office for their continued commitment to the city and the partnership we have had in city government. I believe I speak for the entire city council in thanking all the city employees for their day-to-day work in keeping the city operating. And a thank you to the many members of the various boards and commissions who selflessly commit their time and talents to the community. I'd like to thank the members of the Malden School Committee for their work in making sure that the children have access to quality education. Finally, I'd like to thank my family, in particular my sister Noreen, who supports me always, but this year she's helped me out so much in all my various endeavors, and I appreciate all that she does for me. So, and to all of our families, for the support that they give us in so many ways. I'd like to thank our invited guests here this evening, former mayors, and our state delegation who works with us tirelessly. It is because of all that they do, it gives us the opportunity to do our job more effectively. Having served in public office in the city of Malden has taught me so much. This year, I felt we've been able to accomplish a lot of positive things. However, whether it's City Hall actually coming down, the formation of the Community Preservation Committee are not my accomplishments. They are our accomplishments. As a city council, as an administration, and most importantly, as a community. They're all of our accomplishments. I want to personally thank our two outgoing councilors, Councilor Kinnan and Councilor D'Angelo, for their work over the years. Their commitment, dedication, and passion to the city has not gone unnoticed, and I wish them the most success on their future endeavors. We'd also like to extend a welcome and congratulations to our new councilors, Dave Kamel and Steve Winslow, and the members of the Malden School Committee. As I end my role tonight as president of the Malden City Council, I am honored to turn the gavel over to Councilor DeMaria, and I'm confident, as we heard from her speech, she'll get right to work as the City Council president. And I want her to know, Councilor DeMaria, that you have my full support in making Malden a better place every day. I thank you all for your support and for the opportunity to serve Malden.
Good evening, and ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the biennial inauguration ceremonies in the city of Malden. This ceremony is an important ceremony because it pays long overdue recognition to all of these men and women who give of their time and their effort and their energy to work in the best interests of the city of Malden. My role tonight is kind of a bittersweet role because I have to say goodbye to two members of the committee who are retiring, Mr. Larry Silverman from Ward 3 and Mr. Emmanuel Marsh from Ward 2. The votes that we take on the school committee are sometimes controversial, and they're not without a lot of pressure sometimes being exerted. But the votes have always taken with the best interests of the city of Malden, the school children, the parents, and the taxpayers. And I want to publicly thank Emmanuel and Larry for the hard work that they did for the past 2 years, standing tall in the face sometimes of a lot of criticism, voting their conscience because they did what they thought was in the best interest of kids. There's no better motivation than that. And so, Larry, if you could come up, please. This plaque is presented to Lawrence Silverman, Malden School Committee, 2014-2018, for your dedicated service to the students of the Malden Public Schools. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hold on, we gotta get a picture.
Gotta get a picture. Emmanuel, you're next. Again, for your dedicated service to the students of the Malden Public Schools, this is presented to Emmanuel Marsh for his service to the school committee for the years 2016 and 2018. Thanks, Emmanuel.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you. Just one final comment. I've been around the public schools. I start my 49th year on the 15th of January, and I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of wonderful people. I've served on the school committee for 12 years, and I can honestly say that these two gentlemen are some of the finest people I've had the pleasure of serving with, and I hope that they continue in their positions of staying strong, keeping a strong voice in support of public education, and in other areas that affect all of us. So thank you, thank you.
I don't know how I'm going to follow that up. That was pretty tough, so I'm going to do my best. All right. The purpose of this convention having been accomplished, it is declared dissolved. Reverend Otto O'Connor, First Parish in Malden, will be offering the benediction.
May this benediction carry us in the work that is to come. Spirit of life, God of many names, may you bless this gathering. For our elected officials, may you do this sacred work of governing from a place of love and care for this, our community and city of Malden. May you be guided by a sense of justice and compassion. May you not allow hate to enter your heart. May you have the courage to speak up for the vulnerable and the marginalized. May we, Maldonians, those of us who live and work and call this place home, recognize our duty to engage in the governing of this city. For these are the people we have chosen to represent us. Let us not forget that it is us who must hold them accountable. And may all of us, elected officials and citizens alike, work together for the values that so many of us, so many of our traditions, our religious and secular traditions teach. Love for our neighbors, work for justice and compassion, fighting against oppressions of any kind. And may we do this work in Malden, and in our communities, and across our world. So may you go into the world in peace, and amen.
I would like to now invite Julia Hall back up to the podium to sing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, everyone, for attending tonight's inauguration. Mr. Levine, please escort Mayor Christensen, the City Council, the school committee out. All please rise.